If you've ever thought, I wish I could be a stay-at-home mom, but I just can't afford it, I totally get it. That was me too, but I found a way to make it work. I thought that being able to be a stay-at-home mom was simply for women with super wealthy partners and huge savings. But in the last year and a half of learning all about like finance and income and online businesses, offline businesses, all of this kind of stuff, I have realized that it's actually a lot more attainable than you might think to become a stay-at-home mom, even in today's economy. So today I'm gonna break it down a little bit for you, and we're gonna talk about the actual numbers, the budgeting shift, and the different ways that you can work online without sacrificing what matters to you. And I'm also gonna share how I personally made this shift. It might not fit your lifestyle, that's absolutely fine, but if there is anyone out there who I might be able to help, then I am more than happy to share too. I will say, during this video we do have a little guest over here. She's very chatty this morning, so we're probably gonna have to listen to some little baby cooing, but that's just the part and the beauty of what I get to do. My children get to be present for every single moment, and rather than using my kids as an excuse that I can't do something, I am using them as the thing that is pushing me to move forward and put out content even when it's not perfect, but at least I'm giving you value. Now, most people think that they can't stay at home before they've even looked at their numbers, and I know how overwhelming it can be to actually sit down and look at those numbers. I know how incredibly overwhelming money can be. But before you decide that it's not possible for you, why don't you sit down and do this exercise? Write down your current income. How much are you currently bringing home from work? And if you're on maternity pay, then kind of like try and work out how much money you would be earning when you go back to work, or maybe like the kind of money that you were on before you went on maternity leave. And now I want you to subtract the cost of what it's costing you to actually work. So write down things like commuting costs. Maybe you're going and buying a coffee, or you're buying some lunch, or you come home from work and you're tired, so you're ordering food. Any kind of cost that you are putting out that is to do with you working. And I want you to do this because you might realize, maybe not, but I certainly did, you might realize that actually the cost of you working, you're left with very little profit at the end of the week when you've, bought, maybe you need new clothes for work, or you need to fill up your car for work, or you have bought 7 coffees this week at like £3 each. Like, it all adds up a lot. And then you want to think about whether it's actually worth that little bit of extra income that you have left after you've done all of that adding up of all the expenditure. So once I had actually done this, personally, I realized that I didn't need to replace all of my income. I only needed to replace probably about half of it after everything that I would be stopping spending from going to work. I'm not about to tell you to cut out every single luxury in your life and live off beans and rice. But what I will say, that for the first few months of being a stay-at-home mom, while you are setting up maybe another stream of income or something like that, your spending is going to have to reflect the stage of life that you are in. And again, I'm not telling you to, never buy another coffee again. I'm just saying, for the first few months, maybe cut back on that. Learn how to make a really nice coffee at home. And a big chunk of this is actually shifting your mindset, not just cutting back on the money. Prioritize spending your money on things that actually bring you joy. So rather than getting those 7 coffees a week that you would get when you were going to work, maybe you can put that money into a nice day out with your family. Another thing that you could do is meal prep and cook from home. I know that food can be so incredibly costly, and honestly, when I started meal planning for the week, and doing my shops based on that meal plan, my shopping cost went down by probably about half because I didn't have the food waste. I wasn't buying things that we didn't need, and it was not only helping us make healthier choices but also be a lot more sufficient. The most important one is ditch the keeping up mentality. We are so sucked into needing the newest phone, the newest laptop, the newest car, the newest this, the newest that, the newest gizmo, gadget, everything. We feel like we need it all, but do you actually need it? Like, is your phone right now still working? It probably is. Can you send an email from your phone? You probably can. You can make a phone call. Can you take a photo? You probably can. You don't need a new phone. Let me be the person to tell you, you don't need a new phone, you don't need a new car, you don't need a new anything unless it's genuinely falling apart. Just because society is telling you that you need it because it's brand new and shiny and just came out and being advertised everywhere doesn't mean that you need it. Okay, so this is my favorite part, of course, and I want you to remember that staying at home doesn't have to mean making absolutely no money. All that it means is that you're getting to make money on your own terms. And now we have the internet, this is so much easier. And thanks to the internet, there are so many different ways to work from home. You've got freelancing, you could sell handmade things if you are crafty, do network marketing, you could teach or tutor online. There's so many different ways. I personally run an online business that fits into my own life, not the other way around, which is amazing. It's what we all want, right? And that's the key of this. Whatever you choose to do, it should fit into your life rather than the other way around. So I personally run a high ticket online business. I choose my own hours that I want to work in a day. The business is mine. I'm not working for somebody else. I'm not filling somebody else's pockets through what I do. It's a business that I run, and I actually help other people set up their businesses in this sector as well. So if you're at all interested in that, all the information down in the little box if you want any of that. Now, so often we believe that we need a certain amount of money to be happy. But what I've learned is that financial freedom isn't about the number that you make. It's about how much control you have over your time. We need to stop thinking about money just as income. Instead of think of it as an energy exchange. It's a way that you are making money costing you more in energy and time. Adopt an abundance mindset. Instead of being like, oh, I can't do this, I'm no good at that, it's never gonna work. Think about how you're gonna be able to make it happen. And most importantly, be patient with the transition. Going from a 2-income household to a 1-income household, or going from, full-time offline to full-time online, it's not easy and it takes time. And one massive thing that I will say is that if you are looking to go full-time online with something like building a business or doing affiliate marketing or anything at all online, I wholeheartedly suggest that you do it alongside your 9 to 5 for a while until you build it up. Or if you are on maternity leave, start it in maternity leave so that by the time that you have to go back to work, you're already there and you already know what you're doing, and you already know that it works. I would never suggest for anybody to quit their job and jump straight into something online without having tested the waters, if you want to call it that. I definitely think that you have to find your own thing. You have to find what works for you, and sometimes it takes testing. I was very lucky to jump straight into this and find that this was the thing that I wanted to do, but it's not like that for a lot of people, and some people would join businesses and they'll decide that it's not for them, and that's absolutely fine, and they'll go on to find something else. But it's very important for you to kind of figure out whether or not what you're going to do is what you want to do long term. And at the end of the day, staying at home with your kids is completely possible if it's something that you truly want. It's just about being creative and intentional and making the small changes that are going to add up. And if you are watching this thinking, I wish I could do this, but I don't know where to start, I would love to help you. If this resonated with you, then let me know down below what's a shift that you could start making and implementing today to make staying at home feel a little bit more realistic to yourself. And if you want to learn a little bit more about how I personally make money online, then follow the links down below. There is an intro video and there is also a booking link to book in a call with me.